Good morning. Welcome to this gorgeous morning out here on Porch Top. First of all, I want to start off by saying my channel is growing, and I appreciate that because it can only happen through your support. But I still need for you to like, share, subscribe, especially subscribe, and leave a comment. If you have a topic that you think that you would like me to cover, just put it in the comments below and let me know, and I'll work on it. I like to talk about everything. But yes, it's a beautiful day outside here. Sun's coming up. It's gorgeous. Hopefully, I can get this done before it peaks over the top of those trees. But yeah, so I just wanted to do a talk today on success and discipline at 65. So, some things, hopefully by now you have it figured out, but it's a little bit different once you retire, and you get to a point where you kind of own, more of your time. And so when we retire, we think that we're going to own our time, but other people also perceive that we have a lot of time to give away. At our age, you don't have time to give away. You have time to constructively decide where your time is going to be spent, who it's going to be spent with, and what it's going to be, spent doing. And so remember that. That's very, very important. I retired at 62. I went early. I had several life changes and decided that it was a good time for me. And I did take a little bit of a cut on my Social Security, but I got that free money and basically extra security for me for the extra 3 years because I lost a relationship and some businesses and really basically had to start all over again. So I needed that support, even if there was a slight decrease. I wasn't willing to wait until I was 67 for my full retirement age. I decided that I would go ahead and take it now. It was just, sorry, pull my shirt up a little bit. It was just what I decided that was right for my situation. Consult with people on that, but if you're going through life changes and you plan on working, and I always planned on working a little bit to supplement my Social Security income. And I actually got a job at Smoothie King in Yulee, and I loved it. I adored it. Now, I didn't get paid what my salary range versus my experience was, but I got to meet so many people. I worked the morning shift Monday through Friday. I was out of there by 1 o'clock, and I had a lovely time. And I, kept my feet in the game. I didn't want to go back into the restaurant business. This was a food service industry, but not like a where you're making it and cooking it and serving it, nothing like that. So, but it was a very fun time, and I met my wonderful friend Tamika there, and we became great friends. So it was worth the whole thing. Plus, it helped me supplement my income, which was wonderful. You have to work a certain amount of hours when you're on retirement, so it doesn't affect your Social Security check. So, you need to be aware of that. Make sure that if you're coming to retirement age, that you are going on the Social Security and you're checking it out. I also suggest getting on an Advantage plan, especially one that is called Giving Back, and it will pay once you hit 65, it'll hit your extra cost on Part D, I think it is. I don't even know because I don't go to doctors. I don't use it. The only thing I wanted it for, honestly, was for my gym membership. It was free. If you get on an Advantage plan, you get a silver sneakers to many gyms for free. So that's what I wanted it for. I actually was going to go join a gym membership, and but my Medicare pays for it, so that's wonderful. So just some things, for success and discipline as we get older and we're reclaiming ourselves. It's a time to reclaim your time, your energy, and maybe change your direction a little bit about where you want your life to go. And so these success points are for people who, like me, I decided at 65 I wanted to start a YouTube channel. I have extra time, plus I wanted to share my experiences as a person who has already retired, who has worked a very busy life, who can give you some ins and outs about retirement, what I did, when I took it, things like that. And so I think restructuring your headspace and restructuring also how everybody perceives you as a retired person, because people are going to try to take advantage of you thinking you got all this free time. And sure, you could decide, I'm not working anymore, I'm not doing anything, but I promise you, if you've been a hard worker all your life, it's going to be really, really hard for you to do. It was very hard for me. I found that because I had such a strong work ethic, that being passive and just sitting around and doing nothing is not my style. So I immediately jumped on my peptide business and my jewelry business, amping that up to sell my jewelry, and also started my YouTube because I thought the information that I have is pretty valuable. So these are some things just to kind of put things back in perspective, and I do have notes and an outline that I'm gonna go by. I'm gonna put it up here so maybe I won't have to be looking around so much. Let me prop it up properly. All right. And so the first thing I think that we need to do is we need to stop explaining ourselves to everyone about what we're doing, about things that we're pursuing in our lives. I think over explaining and justifying, it says make you look weak in front of people. Turn this just a little bit. There you go. That's better. It makes you look weak. It projects insecurity, and it also opens the door for people to manipulate you. And it says, let me see, when you justify and explain your actions or beliefs, it's like explaining who you are to gain acceptance. So we've already worked a hard life, and hopefully you're in a good space with retirement. A lot of people, they don't know what they're going to do, and it is very different from getting up and having a 9 to 5. Now you can still get up with purpose and intention, but you don't at 65. It's up to you. I mean, you can work a side job, but you don't have a game, a place that you go to earn a paycheck. Hopefully you're getting your Social Security and you're supplementing it with a home business or something like that. But so people like to say, well, automatically perceive you got lots of time. And so don't explain yourself, and be careful about who you give your time away to. It says, you hand over your power and authority to the world when you do this, when you explain. You are saying, I don't fully trust my own judgment unless you validate it. So we have earned the right to do what we want to do. And I mean respectfully and, and properly. We don't have to explain what we do anymore. When we get to this point in our life, hopefully you have a plan of where you're going to move forward to, but we don't have to explain ourselves anymore. We've already done all that, right? And so another one is you don't waste your mental energy trying to convince people who aren't even walking on the same path as you on what you should do and things you should, spend your time doing, because they don't understand. They're not retired, and people, unless you get in with a group of people who are retired, you'll find opinions very different from people who are working people who are just not on the retirement journey. So it says don't explain yourself because they won't understand, Um, so stop explaining why. Don't waste your time. Just move forward with your life. Decide what you want to do and move forward with your life. Whether it's include more activity, whether it's to start a new hobby, whether it's to do whatever you want. You don't have to explain that to people, why or how or anything like that. You earned it. You earned it. It says speak. Oh, hold on. Oh, yeah. So it says over explaining isn't just about talking. It communicates. If you explain it, it communicates that you are unsure, and that's when you open the door for people to manipulate you, to manipulate your time because they don't think you have anything to do. So make sure that you speak from your own values, act from convictions. Not everyone will get you. The only person it matters that gets you is you and God. That's it. Super simple. And this is a good mantra to say. I no longer explain my worth or my why. You just decide you're going to do it and you do it. So let me see if I have a good top or a good card. But so let's move on to another point. It says never compete for someone's attention. So if you meet people and you click with somebody and they really you really think you have a good connection and talk about plans and all that, and then they just kind of poop out on you and you're like, well, that was different. We should not have to chase other people who don't value your presence. People's opinion of you because of your age and because of the value that society stamps on you. Some people will say you're not worth the time, but people will try to engage with you, will try to make nice with you just to see what you can give them. But you don't have to chase after people who don't value your presence. If you feel like you're talking to somebody, whether it is in a relationship, family members, whomever, and they seem very interested and they just kind of ghost you, don't waste your time. You don't have to try to connect with people like that. I said when you chase relationships or connections, you are saying that their approval is worth more than own your own dignity too. So you don't beg to be part of somebody's life, be somewhere where people want you. Volunteer time. Um, you know, there's so many things that you can do with your extra time if you have it. It says you do not need to prove your value. Your acts will appear as desperation if you do, and that will automatically be perceived as less valuable. Genuine respect and connection, excuse me while I flip the page, should not be forced. When people see your worth, they don't make you jump through hoops. They don't let your worth be up for bidding. Don't give power to someone else to decide whether you win or you lose. And so this is a great card right here. And it says, I know my value and will not lessen or shrink myself for anything or anyone. So know your value, know the value of your time, your skills, your knowledge, and make the decision about who you let into that arena, who you let into Cheryl's world, or whoever you are, whoever you let into your world. Make sure that they not prove, but they have a valuable piece in there, and they're not just somebody checking the situation out to see what they can get. They dip in and dip out. How's that? So, do you even want the attention of someone who doesn't see the value in you? Don't perform for people's time, attention, or interest. Attention is cheap and fleeting. And as you retire and your uh, time constraints are different, you may have children leaving home, you have more time together, you may find that you really, really want to be around people. And um, and you meet people and then you start competing for their time. And so I think the best way to have that social interaction when you are at retirement age, or when you have children and leave home, you have a lot of time on your hand, is to be involved in a social group. So I am involved in the senior center, and you have to be 65 to join that. And then also I met a great group of people. I go to bingo with them. I play cards. We have cookouts. We do fun things together, and we enjoy each other's company because we all have stories. And it's fun to have people our age or older because, again, we got the stories. We've already lived a lot of life. We can sit back and kind of giggle about it at times. But find a group of people who are in your age or who have similar interests. I'm an artist. I'm looking for artist groups to join. I may take a writing course. I just had one of my youngest daughter, she's 31, she's learning to speak Japanese, and she's going to get a program that has unlimited access, and you can offer family members to be part of that. And I think I'm going to learn how to speak Japanese or other languages. I love other cultures, but I'm very interested in to continue to learn and continue to create value for me and create value that I can share with other people as well. I'm going to take a drink. So another one is if you're in a group of friends, relatives, family, situations, you have a right, hopefully you have the wisdom, to decide to completely walk away from situations like that. And it says don't lower yourself by staying because you hope they will change or see your worth. My doggy's getting ready to bark. I may have to put this on pause because he hears other dogs barking in the hood, and you know how dogs are. One barks, they all bark. And it says staying isn't loyalty. It's self-betrayal. So if you're in a relationship where people are taking from you and they're not giving back to you, maybe it's time to walk away and not let those people into your valuable time and space and energy, because those are things that we can't give away. We can't recoup our time. We can't recoup our energy and things like that. So be careful who you let that out to be. Make sure that those are people who have the same values as you, not people who are out to use you. Another thing is the most valuable thing sometimes that you can do is just to walk away. If things aren't a situation that grows you, don't stay in the situation. If you have people who are draining you and people who are just taking advantage of you, say no. Walk away. You are 65 years old or a mature person, and you have a right to dissect who gets your time and who you let buy real estate in your life. It's our life, and it's our time. So super important, to do that. So protecting your mind, your dignity, and your future, super important. And walking away with no warning doesn't leave room for people to manipulate you. If it's not working, just stop. Just stop. If you're in a group of people who are continually backbiting or being just don't have the same values as you, and you just feel icky when you walk away, maybe just walk away and don't say anything, and sometimes you have to do that. But when you do that, it doesn't give them room for manipulation. If you say, oh, this is too much for me, I'm leaving if this stuff doesn't change. If you do that in a relationship, they can tell you anything. They can make nice with you and say, oh, well, I guess she really means it, or they manipulate you. They tell you what you want to hear, or that they do the nicey nice act. And then once that blows over, then they're right back to the same situation before. So you want to protect your valuable time, and because time, we can never get back time. So protect that with anything and everything. Um, so it says you decided you've given enough of yourself and of your precious time. You don't need them to agree, understand, or approve. When you're done, you're done. You can play the let's beat a dead horse to death again, or it's just like, this isn't working. I think we need to say no harm, no foul, and just move on. Life doesn't end. Sometimes it feels like it is. You've got a serious situation that you're ending, and it feels like, oh my God, this is going to be really hard. But you don't want to think about that. You want to think about preserving yourself, not thinking about all the difficulties that lie in the future for you. Yes, you have to plan, but don't be, stuck in staying to prove you're loyal or you're not a quitter. You're giving away your precious life and your precious time that you can never reclaim. Just remember those things. Don't explain your why. You just leave and reclaim your space. And walking away proves that you value yourself, and that you value your worth, and that you trust yourself. You don't need permission to leave situations or groups of people or anything if it hurts you and it doesn't serve you. It says don't let any job or any person devalue or diminish your worth. No arguments or matching any injury that anybody does to you. You just walk away and you move on. Remember this: my silence is my strength. When you explain, you're giving away your power. You're opening the door for manipulation, and you're begging for their attention. Don't do that. Preserve yourself and your strength and your self-respect. Walk away. Be silent. There you go. And number 4 point is protect your time like it is gold, because it's a commodity we can never buy back. Time it's gone. This moment will be gone. So just like our lives, every day tick away. Eventually it will be gone. Our time will be gone. So value each precious day, each precious moment, and make sure that you are spending places where there's value. And it says, what are you allowing to consume your time? The one thing that you can control is how and who you're spending your valuable time with. Don't give your time away to things that don't deserve you. Hold on a second. I'm looking for a card. I don't have one for that. Do you believe that? So let me find my place back here. Sorry about that. Don't give away your time away to things that don't deserve you, people or time or things that don't deserve you. Live within your boundaries. Learn to say no, not to justify it. You have a right to say no. And saying no sometimes is super hard for people. But remember that you're giving away your precious time. You have to remember how valuable that is. And learn to say, okay, schedule time with yourself. Say, I am going to communicate, and I am going to spend time with me, do some retrospect, a little future planning, and a little bit of, you're retired now. Things have changed. Got to get your headspace together, kind of figure out where you want to go. Do you want to work? Do you, figure out your path forward. Because if you don't figure it out, somebody's going to figure it out for you. People are going to start consuming your time and your energy, and not in Cheryl's world. Cheryl controls it. And it says, I have the power to create the life I want. I decide what works for me. I decide what I want to spend my precious time and who I want to spend my precious time with. I don't let people push their way into buying real estate into my life. It just is not going to happen. And I love this one here. It says, I am in charge of my own life. Remember that. You're the person who writes the story. You're the person who lives it. And you're the person who has the power to not manipulate, but to kind of control the ending or the direction and the path that your life goes. Don't feel that once you get out of the workforce or your life situation changes, that it's over, because it's not. I promise you, since I've been retired, I've been more busy now than I've ever been. But I'm busy doing things that I love now. Not going to work because I have to. I'm doing YouTube to share my experiences at my age, because I want to share that with people and let people know, prepare, have fun, and just because you're retired does not mean that it's over with. Believe me, it's just amazing. And I also remain very optimistic about my future. So if you have health problems, you got, I don't know, relationship. A lot of people go through relationship difficulties, it seems like, in this time that, you kind of lose focus, but you gotta, remain focused and decide, where your life is going. So let me see what it says. Spend time on what strengthens you and brings you peace and what aligns you to your values. Whether it's volunteering, whether it's getting back into art, whether it's writing that book, whether it's starting a YouTube channel, whether it's fishing, if you love fishing. I love to fish. Whether it's spending more time with your grandchildren, whether it's, there's so many things. Volunteering at your, go visit people in nursing homes, go to the children's hospital. There's so many things we can do. Volunteer time at your church. There's a lot of things that you can do. Take your talents and apply them somewhere where people will appreciate it, and it'll give you value too. It says, don't lower yourself by being endlessly available for things or people that pull you away from the life you want to live. Sometimes it's real easy to get involved in other people's ish, and you're trying to help them, or whatever. And it's okay to help people, but it's not okay to let things absorb you, and then here you are again. What happens to us in life is bombs and active people working. You lose yourself. You do lose yourself, and I find that now is the time in retirement to reclaim you. Super important. So be intentional with your time and your life, where you spend your time, as it's valuable as gold. It's something that you can never, you can't repurchase it. You can't earn it back. There's nothing that you can do. Our time on this earth is finite. Only the Lord knows when that will be over. But we can do things to enrich our lives, to enrich other people's lives, to, remain valuable and feel needed. And you don't have to be lonely. It's real easy to lock yourself away and think nobody cares, but it's just not true. I did that for a little while. I think because I needed just some time to get my headspace straight. I've been thinking about doing this YouTube channel for a long time, but I had some interpersonal things happen that just made me go, it's time. And so I did. And I've started, and now I can't stop. So, you got to remember to just love yourself. Loving yourself is such a wonderful thing. Speaking of love, I want to share this with you. I make these necklaces. I call them love necklaces. And what it does is I wear this every day with everything that I have. It goes with everything I wear because it has because, let me go close, it's a multicolor. It's got all colors in it. I hand make these chains. I have them in different styles and colors. So I have one in a, I call it sunset, and then I have another one very similar to mine, but it tends to be a little more on the pinky side. So one has a beautiful, this is, I didn't make this chain, but it's called a bird's eye chain. This one's done in silver, and this one is done in gold with, I beat it, and it's done in a paper clip style. But I have those, and those will be available soon, and I'll also have them in other colors, but I am waiting for my life to slow down a little bit. I just had my youngest child's 31st birthday, and then I had a grandbaby just born a couple days ago that I still haven't had an opportunity to go see because I'm so busy with my businesses here. But this weekend I'm planning on making a trip there, and then on Friday I have another child's birthday, so life is very busy. Plus I'm trying to do a talk a day on Porch Talk, so but I keep my priorities straight, and I am not letting things consume my time. I want to do things that I need to do and things that I want to do. And those things with my family, my children, are super important outside of all other activities. If I have time for other activities, I do them. But my family and my very good friends that I have and stuff like that are number one. And this right here, YouTube is a number one priority for me because I've made a commitment to myself and to people that I'll do a new talk a day, and I plan on doing that. So, so the next point is speak less and mean more. So God created us, I love this saying, with 2 ears and 1 mouth. You talk less and you listen more. And the more you talk, the more opportunity, sorry, I'm going to do a page flip again. The more time that you give people to misunderstand what you're talking about, and also to twist your words and judge you prematurely. I'm a hairdresser since 1986, a beauty consultant, makeup artist, nail tech, all of that. And so part of my job is conversing with people. And I found it as a hairdresser to be very uncomfortable with silence because I'm thinking, oh my God, what are they thinking? Do they like me? So on and so forth. So one thing I have become is a very good conversationalist. And, but I've had to learn through the years when conversation sometimes is just too much. There you have clients that love to talk. Oh, I mean, it's like your best girlfriend coming in and you're doing the hair, we're talking about dates and all that. And then you have a person who's, a little more serious, or they got serious stuff going in their life and they just want peace. And people hire you for your time. They don't hire you for the conversation. A lot of people do hire you for the conversation and the sisterhood, I say, in it all, but some people are not into that. You have to learn to discern, and that comes from speaking to them, hearing their responses, and then you have to gauge, is this a talker or is this